In this video, we are going to talk about the best art museums in New York City. The best museums in New York City are as numerous as they are diverse. There are the enormously famous and famously enormous. We're looking at the Met, and the smaller and more specific. The International Center for Photography on the Lower East Side houses gallery spaces that rotate through some of the most interesting contemporary camera work around today in standalone showcases, as well as dynamic group curations. Downtown Brooklyn's New York Transit Museum is all about the city's public transportation through the years, while the Museum of the Moving Image in Astoria, Queens, fastidiously documents the filmmaking history and technology, while doubling as an excellent movie theater. In short, there's no shortage of options. Before we start the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's start the video. The Cloisters. Located on 4 acres in northern Manhattan's Fort Tryon Park, the Met Cloisters is a branch of the Metropolitan Museum of Art and is America's only museum dedicated exclusively to the art and architecture of the Middle Ages. The building overlooks the Hudson River and actually incorporates 5 medieval-inspired cloisters into a modern museum structure, creating an historic and contextualized backdrop in which to view the art. It's also just a serene space in which to spend some time outdoors, far away from the hustle and bustle so ubiquitous a few subway stops south. American Museum of Natural History. Truly one of the world's great natural history museums, the American Museum of Natural History spans 4 city blocks just across from Central Park. All aspects of the natural world are represented here, from a vast collection of taxidermy mammals to depictions of the life of Native American tribes, to an entire hall dedicated to marine life, including a life-size model of a blue whale. The crown jewel is the dinosaur floor, with an imposing Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton that dominates the room. The newest attraction comes in the form of the Richard Gilder Center for Science, Education, and Innovation, which opened in May of 2023 and, among many other things, boasts a comprehensive insectarium and vivarium. Breathtaking architecture from New York-based Jean Gang doesn't hurt either. The cavernous lobby brings to mind the underground fortresses of Dune and are thoughtfully designed so that there are no dead ends. Just as with knowledge itself, the possibilities here are endless. Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum. The Guggenheim is a radical departure from the typical museum layout, and from every other building in New York, for that matter. The circular concrete structure stands in stark contrast to the rectangular steel and glass buildings that surround it. Inside, a central ramp, which spirals upward and outward from one exhibition floor to the next, creates an open interior space, flooded with daylight that pours in through a glass dome. Frank Lloyd Wright designed the iconic building that houses Solomon R. Guggenheim's modern art collection, which includes paintings by Kandinsky, plus works by Picasso, Klee, Miro, and more. If you have time for a meal, head to the right. A James Beard Award-winning American bistro on site. Museum of the City of New York. The colonial-style structure near the top of Central Park was built specifically to house the Museum of the City of New York in 1932. But today, the museum maintains a low profile, and many New Yorkers have no idea that it even exists. The collection here is over 1.5 million pieces strong and incorporates photography, paintings, drawings, furniture, decorative objects, and manuscripts, all having to do with the history of New York City's 5 boroughs. Because it's relatively out of the way for many tourists, a lot of people come here with a little more enthusiasm for the collection than your average museum goer. New Galerie in New York. A jewel box of a museum. The New Galerie occupies a former Gilded Age Beaux Arts mansion, completed in 1914, on a quiet block of the Upper East Side. The museum is dedicated entirely to 19th century German and Austrian art and design, with a collection that spans paintings, furniture, sculpture, photography, and manuscripts. The star attraction, arguably, is Gustav Klimt's mesmerizing and iconic painting, Portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer I, completed in 1907. It was sold to the museum's founder, Ronald Lauder, in 2006 for $135 million. Rotating exhibits on the mansion's 3rd level give visitors colorful glimpses into the lesser-known and appreciated annals of European art during that period. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. For nearly a century and a half, the Met has remained the cultural epicenter of New York City, thanks to forward-thinking exhibits and an extensive permanent collection. With its Gothic Revival-style building, iconic tiered steps, and Central Park location, the building is a sight to be seen. But step inside its Great Hall, as a ceaseless parade of museum-goers move to and fro, and you'll feel the overwhelming sense of possibility and discovery that lays beyond. If you got limited time or compatriots with limited attention spans, start with the Temple of Dender, a 2,000-year-old soaring Egyptian temple, the only complete one in the Western Hemisphere. Rubin Museum of Art. Located in Manhattan's Chelsea neighborhood, the Rubin Museum is dedicated to the art of the Himalayas in India. Spanning 1,500 years and 38,000 pieces, the Rubin's collection is a comprehensive, unparalleled deep dive into the art of the Himalayas, composed of sculptures, paintings, installations that display rituals such as Nepalese wax metal casting and reproductions of murals of Tibet's Looking Temple. Fascinating temporary exhibits showcase, for example, photographer Henry Cartier-Bresson's documentation of mid-century India, or the ceremonies, agrarian festivals, and natural environment in Nepal's Kathmandu Valley. Museum of Modern Art, MoMA. Located in Midtown Manhattan, the MoMA is larger than it appears as you approach it from the street below. One of the world's most influential museums, displaying the works of important artists like Van Gogh, Monet, Picasso, Matisse, Rothko, Frida Kahlo, Salvador Dali, and Diane Arbus. It has 630,000 square feet of space and attracts more than 1 million visitors a year. While making a beeline for the fifth-floor collection galleries to take in the Starry Night and Monet's Water Lilies is understandable. Don't miss the exhibitions, which tell new stories and can only be experienced in a limited time frame. Allocate time to spend poring over the remarkable books and objects in the famous gift shop too, an NYC must-visit in its own right. New Museum. Although the New Museum was founded in 1977, it gained renewed attention in 2007 with the opening of its Bowery location, a 7-story building that looks like blocks stacked on top of each other. The museum contains all things contemporary and modern in all mediums and tends to champion lesser-known artists. Recent shows have included Australian painter Helen Johnson, Lay-based filmmaker Carlo Joseph, and Philadelphia installation artist Alex Decourt. Exhibits can be hit or miss, and enjoyment of them tends to be wildly subjective, but that's part of what makes the museum such a vibrant, exciting, and diverse space. Ellis Island National Museum of Immigration. Although the address is technically in Jersey City, this is a quintessential New York City experience, one that you access via Battery Park at the bottom of Manhattan. It's from here that you board the ferry, either the Miss Jersey or the Miss Liberty, that will deliver you to Ellis Island and the National Immigration Museum. That this boat ride also takes you not only past but up to the Statue of Liberty herself, with the $25 cost of your ticket covering a visit to the monument as well as the museum, is merely icing atop what is on its own one of the city's best museums. With excellent restoration work, a fantastic photography collection, and eager park rangers giving free guided tours every hour about the immigration process that occurred here between 1892 and 1954. It's an experience as informative as it is beautiful. I hope you enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to Oyer channel for future updates. See you in the next video.